$6 for cereal. 6. This morning I stood in the grocery shop genuinely requiring a moment to compose myself. Today, dear viewer, we answer the great question haunting every wallet on the planet: why is everything so expensive now? By the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly why prices exploded, why they never seem to come back down, and what you can actually do about it. Some of these answers will genuinely surprise you. Shall we begin? First, let's be clear, it's not just you. Groceries, rent, insurance, car repairs, a simple sandwich, nearly everything costs dramatically more than it did a few years ago. Your eyes aren't deceiving you, the numbers back you up. And here's why it matters so much. If prices rise faster than your paycheck, you're getting a pay cut without anyone announcing it. Same job, same hours, less life. That's the silent squeeze millions of households are feeling right now. So what is inflation really? Allow me to explain. At its heart, it's terribly simple: more money chasing the same amount of goods. When there's more cash in everyone's pockets but no more stuff to buy, prices climb. Every time. Picture an auction with one painting and 10 bidders. Now, hand every bidder twice the cash. The painting hasn't changed, but the winning bid doubles. That's demand-pull inflation. Too many dollars competing for too few things, pulling prices upward. There's a second flavor: cost-push inflation. When the stuff businesses need, fuel, materials, shipping, labor, gets more expensive, they pass those costs along to you. Prices get pushed up from below, even when nobody's spending more. Now then, what happened between 2020 and 2002 was both at once, on a frightfully grand scale. Governments and central banks around the world pumped trillions of new dollars into their economies to keep things afloat. The money supply expanded enormously. Stimulus checks, business support, low interest rates, all that new money landed in bank accounts while people sat at home. Demand came roaring back fast. That's the demand pull half of the equation, fully loaded and ready to fire. Meanwhile, the supply side fell apart. Factories shut down, ports clogged up, container ships queued for weeks, and computer chips vanished. The world wanted to buy more stuff exactly when the world could produce and deliver less of it. Then energy prices spiked. And here's the nasty bit: fuel hides inside the price of everything. It costs energy to grow food, run factories, and drive trucks. When oil and gas jump, every single product quietly gets more expensive. So, oceans of new money, broken supply chains, and an energy shock, all colliding at the same moment. A perfect storm. Prices didn't creep up, they leapt. And that, dear viewer, is the storm we're all still paying for. Here's the question everyone asks. Inflation has cooled down, so why hasn't anything gotten cheaper? Brace yourself for an unpleasant truth. Prices are sticky. Once they go up, they almost never come back down. Economists call it downward stickiness. When you hear inflation is falling, that means prices are rising more slowly, not falling. That's disinflation. Actual falling prices, deflation, is rare, and central banks try hard to avoid it. So today's high prices become the new normal. To be fair, a few things do get cheaper. Televisions and gadgets mostly, because technology keeps getting cheaper to make. But the essentials you can't skip: food, housing, insurance, services, those march in one direction: upward. Why won't companies cut prices? Because they don't have to. Once customers accept a higher price, lowering it just shrinks profit. And their own costs, wages, rent, ingredients went up too and stayed up. Nobody wants to move first. And now we arrive at something truly dastardly. Have you noticed your cereal box getting suspiciously slim? Same price, smaller package. That's shrinkflation. Companies hiding price increases by quietly giving you less. Frightfully sneaky and utterly everywhere. Fewer chips in the bag. A narrower chocolate bar. Toilet paper rolls with fewer sheets. Ice cream tubs that shrank from a half-gallon to 1.5 quarts. The price tag stays the same, so most shoppers never notice the difference. Its sibling is skimpflation, same price, worse quality. Cheaper ingredients swapped in, thinner fabric, shorter customer service hours and longer hold times. You're paying the same, or more, for a product that's quietly become worse. Check your labels. Now for the biggest line on your budget: housing. Rent or mortgage payments swallow more of the average household income than anything else. So when housing costs surge, it hurts more than every other price increase combined. Why did housing get so expensive? Simple supply and demand, decades in the making. After the 2008 crash, home builders pulled way back and never fully recovered. Year after year, the country built fewer homes than it needed. Then a huge generation hit home buying age all at once. Remote work scattered people into new cities, and demand collided with that shortage. Too many buyers and renters, not enough homes. Prices and rents did exactly what you'd expect, up. And housing costs leak into everything else. Your barber pays rent. Your favorite restaurant pays rent. Their landlords raised prices, so they raised prices, so you pay more. Housing inflation never stays politely inside the housing column. There's also a feedback loop. When prices rise, workers ask for higher pay, quite reasonably. But higher wages raise business costs, which can push prices up again. Economists call this the wage price spiral, and it can keep inflation rolling. One more ingredient. Several studies found that in some industries, companies raised prices beyond their rising costs, and profit margins actually expanded during the inflation wave. When everything's going up, an extra increase is rather easy to slip through unnoticed. Let's make this painfully concrete. Take a grocery cart that cost you $100 in early 2020. By 2024, that very same cart cost roughly $105, give or take, depending on where you live and what you buy. That's $25 vanishing from every single shop, week after week, forever. And it compounds. Even a gentle 3% inflation, left alone for 24 years, cuts your money's buying power in half. Half. Gone. Quietly. So your savings account isn't a vault, it's a melting ice cube. Money sitting still loses buying power every single year. Which brings us, at long last, to the only question that truly matters. What can you do about it? Right then, chin up. You can't control the money supply, but you can absolutely control your response to it. I shall give you 5 practical moves, ranked roughly from easiest to most powerful. Do take notes. Move 1. Track your personal inflation. The official rate is an average, yours is different. Pull up 3 months of spending and find which categories actually jumped for you. You can't fight an enemy you haven't measured. Move 2. Attack your fixed bills. Phone, internet, insurance, subscriptions, call and negotiate, or threaten to switch. Companies count on your laziness. One slightly awkward 20-minute call can claw back hundreds of dollars a year, every year. Move 3. Substitute ruthlessly. Store brands are often made in the same factories as the famous names. Swap brands, swap stores, swap cuts of meat, buy in bulk where it's genuinely cheaper. Loyalty to a label is an expensive habit. Move 4, and this one's the heavyweight, raise your earning power. Cutting costs has a flaw, earning has none. Learn a skill, ask for the raise, change jobs if you must. Your income is your best inflation defense. Move 5. Invest so your savings outpace inflation. Historically, broad investments like index funds have grown faster than prices over long periods. Keep an emergency fund in cash, certainly, but money beyond that should be out working, not melting. And do be kind to yourself. If money feels tighter than it used to, that isn't a personal failure, the game genuinely got harder. But you're no longer confused about why. And people who understand the game play it far better. The short version, then. Inflation is more money chasing the same goods. Between 2020 and 2022, a flood of new money, broken supply chains, and an energy shock collided, and prices leapt everywhere, all at once. Prices are sticky. They rise like a rocket and fall like a feather, which is to say, rarely at all. Watch for shrinkflation and skimpflation. And remember housing. Too few homes, too many buyers, decades in the making. Your defense? Track your personal inflation, negotiate every fixed bill, substitute without mercy, grow your income, and invest so your money outruns rising prices. 5 moves. None of them require luck, only a decision to begin this week. Now, a question for the comments. Which price increase shocked you most? I do enjoy a good gasp. If this helped, like the video, subscribe for more clear explainers, and share it with a friend who keeps complaining about prices. Class dismissed.